In the eyes of most casual fans, the 100-meter dash is the main event of track and field, and the 2024 season was perhaps the greatest we've ever seen in recent memory. The Olympic final was proof of that, and you probably don't need me to remind you of who was in front during that race. But I do need to point out that first place, all the way down to fourth place, the place where you don't get a medal, were determined by only 300ths of a second. Of course, Usain Bolt wasn't in the race, so the winning time was way slower than most people think that it should be. Because if it feels like the men are running slower, it's because they actually are. It's almost like Bolt was running a different event, because his fastest times, and notice I said times, not just one race, are way better than anything anyone else has ever done. And now that the track and field season is over, I have given quite a bit of thought to who the rest of the world's fastest men actually are. The ones not named Usain Bolt, because a season like the one we just saw should shake up that list. But there's only one problem with that. I also started spending a lot of time thinking about athletes in the sport who've gotten suspended for doing things that, well, maybe they probably shouldn't have. And of the men currently ranked on the all-time best list for the 100-meter dash, I had no idea how many of them have actually been suspended. This video is not an attack on any of those athletes. I don't know what they did or didn't do, but what I do know is that if you do get suspended, whether it's for 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, or for a lifetime ban, it is always a bad look for your career. And you probably already know that some of the names that are near the top of that list, right behind Bolt, are the same people who were chasing after him in the same races. So because Usain Bolt was clearly doing his own thing out there, and I cannot be the only one who was a bit disappointed that 9.79 seconds was the winning time in the Olympics, I decided that I needed a reality check, and making this list was the best thing I could come up with to do it. So here is a breakdown of the fastest men to run the 100-meter dash in history, specifically on the clock, who were never actually suspended for doing anything they shouldn't. To be clear, I have no insider knowledge about who's doing what during their training. For the purposes of my list, any type of suspension at all will invalidate you from the rankings. The only men who stay here are the ones who never actually sat out. We know that there has to be a limit on just how fast the human body can actually go. But the names that I am about to mention are all the men who've gotten as close as possible to that limit. But although I'm doing a top 10, I do have to give you 2 honorable mentions. And the reason for that is because one of the names on the list I'm about to give you are going to receive an asterisk in my book. There are men who weren't technically suspended, but they did receive legitimate allegations that were brought against them. You can Google it if you want to. I'm just not going to give you the details. The first honorable mention is Ronnie Baker of America. He ran 9.83 seconds, but that was in the Olympic semifinal from 2021. Of course, that was fast enough to get him in the actual final. He hasn't made Team USA a whole bunch during his career, but the only real reason for that is the only way he can qualify is to beat out some of the same names that I'm about to mention. And the other name is Bingtian of China, who also ran 9.83 seconds at the 2021 Olympics. He's the Asian record holder in the 60-meter dash indoors as well as outdoors in the 100. But most people really don't recognize him for how fast he actually is, because if he's in a world championship, they don't normally see him all the way in the front of the race. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. The number 10 name on this list is Richard Thompson of Trinidad. His personal best is 9.82 seconds. He did that in 2014 at the Trinidadian National Championships. But that is not what he's best known for. He is the Olympic silver medalist in 2008 for the 100. So yes, when Usain Bolt was way out in front of the rest of the world, he was the guy who was in front of everybody else. And the man coming in at number 9 is Akani Simbine of South Africa. He also ran 9.82 seconds, and that fast time is a South African national record that he just dropped in the 2024 Olympics. He did not get a medal because 9.82 seconds got him 4th. The number 8 spot goes to Oblique Seville of Jamaica. He ran 9.81 seconds and did it in the most recent Olympics. The only difference is He didn't run that in the final. That was actually in the semifinal, where he beat the man who eventually got the gold medal. He has been in world level finals for the past few years now. And remember, he is only 23 years old at the moment, but the number 7 spot goes to the first man on this list who is actually an Olympic champion. Lamont Marcell Jacobs of Italy ran 9.80 seconds to pull that off. That was in 2021, and he had battled injuries from that moment up until now, but he got back for the Olympic final in 2024. He just ran 9.85 seconds when he did it, which is really fast. It just wasn't fast enough to get him a medal that time. And the number 6 name on this list goes to a man who needs no introduction. Noah Lyles of America ran 9.79 seconds to barely win the Olympic final in 2024. He is also the reigning world champion from 2023. He has gone on record to say that he thinks he can run as fast as 9.65 seconds. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I do know that he is still one of the world's fastest men. Not just right now, but in history. The number 5 spot goes to American Maurice Greene, who was actually the oldest man to make it on this list. However, he does get an asterisk, because he was accused pretty heavily of something, but he never got suspended. He ran 9.79 seconds, won the Olympic final in 2000, and on top of that, won the world championship 3 times in the 100. That is an impressive resume, regardless of whatever era you were running in. Yet the number 4 spot goes to the last man to earn his way onto this list based on a 2024 performance. That is Kishane Thompson, who ran 9.77 seconds at the Jamaican National Trials. The way that he ran that race certainly made it look like he could go even faster, and I'm pretty sure that was the plan. But after the Olympic final, where he lost by 0.005 of a second, we haven't seen him on the track for any other races this season. And the number 3 spot goes to Fred Kerley of America for his 9.76 performance from the year 2022. He actually ran 9.7 multiple times during that season. Same season where he won the world championship. But he is now an Olympic medalist twice, from 2021 and now in 2024. But neither of them are gold. And the man who climbed all the way up to the number 2 spot, which is basically as high as you can get on this list because we all know who's at number 1, it's Trayvon Bromell of America. He ran 9.76 seconds all the way at the end of the season in 2021. But he's also a world championship medalist, getting bronze in 2022 in the 100. The truth is that Trayvon Bromell is clearly one of the most talented sprinters of his era. He's just had to battle injuries while he's been competing. It's why he's a world indoor champion in the 60-meter dash, and always a threat to run a world-leading time in the 100. The only thing that can really stop him from winning in this era happens to be himself. And I shouldn't have to say it, but I'ma say it anyway. Usain Bolt is the fastest man on this list. He didn't just run 9.58 seconds in 2009. He also never got suspended during his career. I'm not even going to trivialize it by listing off his accomplishments. Usain Bolt is the fastest man that the world has ever seen, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't expect to see another runner get anywhere near close to his record anytime soon. When I consider a list like this, I get incredibly convinced that 9.7 anything is probably just about the limit of what any man can actually run. Obviously, that's why Bolt is even more special, because he somehow broke through that limit to go even faster. I know that you want to see fast times, and trust me, I want to see them too. But if the men who are running in the game right now aren't going to do anything unusual with their training, 9.7 anything is about the most that we can expect. And considering that a lot of the men in the game right now are pushing their way to that limit, the only way to win a gold medal going forward, as far as I can see, you're going to have to earn it by running all the way through the line. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your Fast is a Lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop, or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.